This video is the fastest Chapter 6 Unreal speedrun on all of YouTube, and it's also the hardest one I've ever done. From the highs of lasering players and clutching fights to the lows of getting one-pumped in devastating losses, this speedrun really has it all, even including pro trio fights in literal FNCS endgames. So I promise you're gonna want to watch until the end, and this is where it all started. On the first day of Chapter 6 in my trio's placement game, which will determine what rank we'll be starting at, so it's super important that we win this game. He pre-fired me. And that's not the start that I was hoping for. With this being day 1 of Chapter 6 and us racing to be one of the first teams in Unreal, we have to basically learn the new weapons and strategies as we play. But now rotating out of Hopeful Heights, we get in our first real fight.
Watch out. 29. I'm dead. Oh, this guy just...
Obviously, those were not your typical silver and unranked players. Usually when you think of a bronze or a lower ranked player, you think of someone that can't build and can barely shoot back. But because everyone's ranks just got reset, these lobbies have a mix of every skill level. Players who were champion in Unreal last season are now all gold and plat, causing huge build fights and intense gameplay in literally our first match of the season. This is when I knew it was going to be a grind if we wanted to hit Unreal quickly. But with SR3 now rebooted, we were able to secure the first win of the day, which should give us a great placement spot. So from unranked up to now gold 3, 42% as our starting point. And we wasted no time before jumping into game 2, where we tried out the Whiffy Wharf drop spot. Now, if we want to be one of the first teams to hit Unreal, then we have to make sure we win these lower ranked games, otherwise we'll fall behind. So we were locked in, and this one got intense.
Oh, these guys are terrible.
I think this is the shot. Where's this guy trying to score?
$51 cracked, one. Not one, but he's full on. Right?
Might be dead.
Yeah, same.
Oh, please.
No.
Literally seconds away from losing in second place, the win screen shows and we somehow escape with the win, which should be enough to give us our first rank up. From gold 3 all the way up and into platinum 1 for a huge 114% gain. And that is a beautiful sight, because knowing what happens later in this video in elite and champion rank makes me want to cry. You'll understand once we get there, but right now we're on back-to-back wins, solid progress, and now trying out the Flooded Frogs drop spot. And here, we had our most challenging spawn fights yet.
Juice rolls on my head.
Bro.
Dead?
No way, he's full on.
And with Dalty finishing off that last player, we officially cleared Flooded Frogs and now had one goal on our mind: to win our 3rd game in a row.
Oh, yeah, they have both of them.
Oh.
One Carter. Yes. Are you feeling that good? Dude, I just have nothing. This kid's one.
And we did it. 25 elims later, we secure the 3rd dub in a row and get yet another rank up. This time from Plat 1 up exactly 100% to Platinum 2. And progress is cooking so far. But dropping into our very next game, that changed. We tried out the Masked Meadows drop spot this time, but I got a pretty bad drop, and before I even landed, both of my teammates had gone down. I really didn't want to lose progress or lose our win streak, so I completely pulled off and waited until the coast was clear to grab their reboot cards. Thankfully, I was able to secure them without anyone else noticing, so I got the team rebooted, and I guess there's a hole there. But after that chaotic early game, we got looted up and pushed on for what we were hoping to be our 4th straight win.
Cracked. Cracked.
Oh man. I just got one. Oh.
Dead up top. No.
That kid's not healing and you already cracked him, by the way.
That other kid's gonna be
Unfortunately, the streak was broken and 4 straight wins did not happen. It was kind of my fault, to be honest. I don't know what I was doing here, just staring at this guy and not building. Thankfully though, we're still in a low enough rank where getting a 5th place with some elims gives you a solid amount of progress. However, as we progress into these higher ranks, that won't always be the case, so we have to be smarter in endgame. We took that as a lesson learned and dropped back into game 5. Back at Whiffy War. It's good to try out a few different drops in your early ranks to see which spots will be best to land at once you get up into those higher ranks. And in just our 2nd time dropping here, we're now 2 for 2 on fights. So pushing out of Whiffy, we were feeling confident.
cracked one over.
And we made the same mistake. Being in just Platinum 2, it sort of messes with your brain and makes you think that you can push everybody because they'll be bad. But that is obviously not true, especially when they have the mythic shotgun that can 200 pump you. So that's unfortunate, but at the same time, it's not the end of the world because it is still Platinum rank. So our 6th place with 15 elims was plenty enough for another rank up. Now, I keep talking about we and us in my team, so I should probably introduce them. There's SR3, who's been a rank grinder forever, but he just switched from controller to now keyboard and mouse, which he's still learning. And then there's Dalty, who was an actual FNCS pro on controller, but he also switched to keyboard and mouse and is still learning. And then of course, there's also me, the tall, handsome, some would say Peterbot of controller. Okay, I made that last part up. But basically, we're not quite as good of a trio as we used to be, so mistakes do happen, and hitting Unreal is going to be more of a grind now than it's ever been, as you can probably tell from that 9th place finish. However, once again, this is still only Platinum rank. I'll never be mad at a 25% gain, but this I will be mad at. Dropping back at Whiffy, we find ourselves in a huge build fight, and before I know it, SR3 and Dalty are both down, leaving me in a 1v3 with now 0 mats. Now, maybe this was possible to win, but definitely not with the Oni shotgun that only has 2 shots and reloads slower than I've ever seen. And that hurts. To take our first big loss before even hitting diamond rank was majorly discouraging, and now again, the very next game, we found ourselves in an almost identical situation. SR3 and Dalty were fighting, and by the time I got to them, SR3 went down and Dalty was barely hanging on, while soon I was in the same boat. So I had to figure out a way to save our game, and then this happened.
And of course you see.
That play scared off the other teammate, and I was able to use the void to teleport deep into zone so they couldn't find me. It took a long time, but eventually I was able to secure both reboot cards and successfully get the entire trio up and back into this game, giving us a chance to win.
I hit both of these guys 100.
I don't know where any reboots are yet.
Oh my god, he's still
in there?
But that quickly fell apart. This is the most I've ever struggled with Platinum rank. Like, I get these players are pretty good, but we are definitely good enough to be winning all or at least most of these games. And I think we understood that now. We were going to make sure that this is a game to get us into diamond rank.
That guy, I just hit him 100. SR3 is gonna get full key.
Must be right here.
What was that?
All that's left is the dude in zone.
And just like we thought, we can still easily win these. It just takes focus. So our first win in honestly a while was a big one. Finally getting out of Platinum and into Diamond 1, a 72% gain. And now this is officially where all of the good players are. This is still just the first day of Chapter 6, and we're racing to be one of the first teams in the world to hit Unreal. But so is everyone else in this lobby. Everyone else in this lobby has also been grinding ranked for hours today. And you can tell. I mean, just watch.
There's just... Bro.
Cracked. One shot.
Gonna reboot either. I think it is.
Oh, on me.
1690 card.
Dead. Cracked on Juice World. Juice World full one.
Four piece on it.
Dead.
Wow, I tried quad, dude.
Are you gonna get in?
These guys just don't miss, man. Gotta reload.
Yeah, these are some grinders. But a 4th place finish with 18 elims was still solid. In fact, it was really solid with a 33% gain coming from it. Obviously, wins are what we want. They give you the most progress and it's just fun to win. But what I've learned in Ranked is that sometimes you have to take what you can get, because even a 4th place is way better than losing off spawn. So back into what will hopefully be the game to send us into Diamond 2. We take out a couple of teams and then find ourselves in another one of these mid-game massive build fights. SR3 is already down, so it's on me and Dalty to win the 2v3, and I was putting in some work, even hitting this kind of crazy controller flick shot to make it a 2v2 now. And then I got stuck. Hoping this player was low health, I reset and hit him for 100, but it wasn't enough and I went down. Now it's a 1v2 for Dalty, and he was just going to void mask away, but in looting this body, he accidentally switched out his void mask for a new one, meaning his teleport portal was gone, and it was GG's after that. Another game that's not necessarily bad, but it's just really frustrating to lose under the top 10 because you're already so close to the win that would give us way more progress. So instead, we have to wait in an 8-minute queue because, again, almost no one is this high of a rank yet. And once we do get a game, almost 25 minutes just for a 3% gain in Diamond 1, and then we followed it up with this.
How? Literally how, bro?
We're still only in Diamond rank, and I'm wondering if this is even worth it. But we actually still ranked up anyways, now up and into Diamond 2, and although it's insanely slow, we are getting there. At some point. I really hope so. Yeah, so back-to-back 8% losses killed any good vibes we had left, so we tried to give ourselves something new and land at Shogun Solitude, hoping it would lead to something different.
29 cracks. Oh my god, this shotgun is the worst I've ever seen.
If we lost right there, I might have crashed out. Thankfully, we didn't. But after that fight in the reboot, I had to go let my dog outside, and then I came back to both SR3 and Dalty dead. I don't know if they were trying to sabotage me on purpose, but I spent nearly the entire rest of the game waiting, getting to their cards, and finding a safe spot to reboot them. And now, with 13 up in endgame, we finally had a chance to close a game out. We haven't seen the win screen in so long in the progress. Over 50% in Diamond 2 just for that one win. It's huge. And that win had us feeling good because we dropped right back into what I think was my best performance yet. And I'll be honest, a lot of what I'm doing here is because I'm on lower ping. A lot of people think lower ping just means you can steal walls easier, but it literally affects every part of the game, from landing AR shots to having faster edits, your builds placing, and I legitimately could not have gotten this ping without using exit lag. Today's sponsor I'm going to quickly tell you about while we dominate this lobby for another dub. So basically what exit lag does is reroute your internet signal to give you the fastest server connection. Like this is my ranked ping without exit lag, and then all I do is come in here, turn on this button, and this is my ranked ping with exit lag. Now how well it works completely depends on where you live and your internet provider. Some people it won't help at all, but some people it can drop your ping by over 50. So to find out if it helps you, I highly suggest getting a free trial with the link in the top of my description. It's super easy to create a free account. And if it helps you, then right now they're running a sale where if you subscribe for 6 months, you get another 6 months completely free. And you can even split a plan with teammates or friends. I'm not lying when I say I use exit lag every single time I play the game, which is why I love them as a sponsor. So if you want lower ping, click that link in the description, try it for free, and tell your friends too. And right on cue, I grabbed this wall first try with my low ping, take out one, and now there's one left behind it. I'm able to now take this wall, make a piece control play, take this guy out for the duo wipe, and that makes it a 3v1 versus the last player. But there was an issue. You see, just a couple of hours before this, we saw a Twitter post from a guy that showed himself winning 10 straight rank games with 0 elims. And he did this by using the fishing strat. He'd spent all game fishing floppers and heals and used them to win every single time. So it looked like someone in our game had taken inspiration and tried to do the same thing, but we weren't having it. We could see where he was on the map because he still had the medallion, so we gave Dalty all of our heals and sent him on Mission Impossible to teleport all the way there, and Dalty actually found him, but only dealt 30 damage before going down. However, he distracted him long enough to stop his healing, and SR3 was still safe, so we actually won the game. That play from Dalty was one of the craziest I've ever seen, and it completely saved our win and promoted me up and into Diamond 3, the final rank before Elite and Champion, where progress becomes even slower and drives us to borderline insanity. But that's not till later, because right now we still have to make it through the rest of Diamond, and these games are no cakewalk either.
HP on one?
Can't get one shot, Carter.
Stupid feature, man.
There's another kid behind. Dead.
Oh my god.
Even after my one pump, SR3 was already down and Dalty was too far to help. So he decided to play his life and try to ride this out to at least a second place. But this team had a different idea when they somehow found where he was hiding. He made a great teleport play trying to escape, but having burned basically all of his mats trying to escape that team, he was forced to hide in old builds. And it just so happened that another solo was doing the same thing, but right behind him, and he didn't know until it was too late. And this is where we're gonna start seeing the drastic difference between placing in top 5 versus winning. We're not even in the hardest ranks yet, and making it all the way to a moving zone endgame gets you 5%. Now realizing this, we knew we had to lock in because our mid-game losses just weren't going to cut it anymore.
Oh, please get me. Oh, you're not gonna get it anyways. You're not gonna make it in time, Dalton. You have to go like here.
This is literally a rerun of the last game. SR3 solo pushes the train and goes down, the train taking his reboot card with it. Great play there. I then get jumped by an entire team and Dalty is too far away to help, so I go down and he has to play his life. You'd think we'd learn from our mistakes, but going down in now 3rd place, once again we miss out on huge progress compared to if we just played smart and won the game. Although 16% isn't terrible, I mean, at least we got something out of it. Now, what is terrible is this. Our very next game, where we lose off spawn and go down -9%. We just lost over half of our 3rd place progress, and if we keep doing this, not only will we not be one of the first teams to hit Unreal, but we won't hit Unreal at all. Now, to be fair, these lobbies were hard. Not only are there tons of cheaters in these high ranks, but we were getting stream sniped by the same team that just made us lose 9%. So we gave them what they deserved, and now we have to turn it around and make this a good game.
This kid is cheating, dude.
How does he know that I'm here?
4th place, 11% gain. Basically just getting back what we lost. And for whatever reason, kind of just like Platinum 3, Diamond 3 has cursed us. Every single game, we'd get a few elims, then something happens, and all of a sudden, there's only one player that has to try to clutch. And in this good of lobbies, 1v3s are nearly impossible. So we're gaining progress, it's just very slow. In reboot after reboot, we'd spend 20 minutes just trying to get the whole team alive to give ourselves a chance in endgame.
Sword, I'm being so serious, sword.
Slice him. Yep, nice.
You go down?
No, I thought you were gonna win that.
In every endgame, our loot is in shambles because of all the reboots in running all game. However, a 2nd place for 15% is the most progress we've seen in hours. And just as we thought we were doing good, the #1 ranked team in the world fought us. And yeah, these guys were already in champion rank, so we knew we were falling behind, and honestly, I think that inspired us. Because the very next game, we finally did it. We finally had a good game.
Did he get cracked?
Oh, crack?
I'm just dead, bro. He's just sorting
Dead on
in.
one? Cracked in this box.
Dead.
Last one, Carter.
He dropped his weapons.
And just like that, we did it. We actually won. It seemed so easy too, and the progress was huge. Finally, we escaped the Diamond 3 curse and get promoted up and into Elite rank. 32%. We're nearly a third of the way through Elite already, and that win just seemed really easy. We were back on track for about 5 minutes. I don't even know why I tried to AR fight that, but it cost us majorly. A 6% loss in Diamond is whatever. You can just win a game and gain 50% to make up for it. But a 6% loss in Elite is a disaster. Not only is it incredibly hard to win games, but you don't gain nearly as much progress from them either. And once we got storm pushed in our next game while already being shambles, to go down and lose another 4%, that was it. We grinded for 9 straight hours of sweaty ranked, and I was ready to go to sleep. But we woke up the very next morning and got right back to it. You see, on the first day of the season, no one actually hits Unreal because it takes so long. So the first players to hit Unreal always do it on the second day of the season. So we still had the opportunity to be one of the first teams in the world to do it, but definitely not like that. Somehow we didn't even get our rank protected, and that's now 3 Elite games, 3 losses for a total of negative 12%. This is not going to cut it. We needed a bounce back game, and we needed it now. So we locked in and we got to work.
Cracked. One shot right here. 39. Cracked. Cracked up top. 47 white. Dead over here. White. Oh my god. Kid just landed inside my box.
1-1-1. What box? Oh my god.
Look at it.
He doesn't understand the assignment.
Finally, another easy dub where we weren't shambles in endgame, and that gives us our first win of Elite rank and a huge chunk of Elite as the reward. 24%. That is crazy for this high of a rank, and compared to what we've been going through all video, it's so good. So that felt amazing, and we wanted to keep it going. But all of our momentum was lost when we had another 8 minutes of sitting in queues, then dropping back into Whiffy, where SR3 disconnects just as we get in our spawn fight. Me and Dalty almost had it too, but of course I had no mats and the worst shotgun in the game, and we lost. Hugely. Now looking back at this, I have no idea why we kept landing Whiffy Wharf. The loot was decent, but it had no mats. It was awkward to fight at, and we did good here our first 2 games in gold rank. But since then, we've lost here so many times. This chapter 6 map is huge, and there's no reason for us to keep going here. But in the moment, we didn't have that thought. So yeah, another game where one team member survives and goes on a wild adventure to get the reboot cards. And then that takes us all the way to endgame, where we have shambles loot and the rest of the lobby is playing like it's FNCS endgame. I mean, 16 players alive this late in the game. You'd think we were playing a serious tournament, but nope, just Elite rank Fortnite. And when Dalty tries to fight, he gets targeted by the whole lobby in, what do you know, another 6th place. And this is officially where that's not going to work anymore. We went down to yet another top ranked team already in champion, and for that entire game, we gain 0%. We're wasting major time by having these games, so we had to figure something out, and this time, we actually won our Whiffy spawn fight. All we had to do now was lock in for the rest of this game.
Oh my god, I just walked right.
Good. Focus on me.
Right here. Cracked.
Close to us, right under us, he's one.
Cracked. One shot in there.
1 HP in the air. He's about to teleport.
And that is what I'm talking about. Another Elite rank win in the books for now our 2nd of the rank, and another huge chunk of Elite completed. 22% to be exact. And that's the difference. Last game, we made it within 2 minutes of winning the game, but lost in 6th place and gained nothing. This time, we actually closed it out and gained everything. That's why endgame of ranked is the most important thing, and you just have to figure out a way to win games, which, heading into this next one, is exactly what we tried to do.
I'm cooked.
Crack.
They're not good at all.
Copies on me.
Nice.
Got it.
Oh my god.
30. 16.
Back up, back up.
I'm gonna get out.
Nice,
Crack.
100.
No, bro. How do I
They're
not
both
get
one,
that
they're both
wall?
Nice. Oh,
Crack.
these kids.
78 cracked. 18 white.
Breaking his builds.
Watch your back, partner.
They're so bad. They're just hiding in a 2v3. Like, come on.
Oh, I don't
builds
have builds either.
That was yours I shot at earlier?
Wait.
Well, we sold again. In a 3v3 endgame, we had loot. We had everything we needed. But Dalty goes down first, and that gives the other team a major confidence boost. So SR3 gets doubled while I take out one. And even though my escape play was kinda cool, it didn't matter at all because I had no mats and they revived the knocked player. So second place, 7%. It's still progress, but all we had to do was win that one last fight, and we could have gained over 20% again. Endgame fights are just so important, but quickly into our next game, we find ourselves in a bad spot. We take out a couple of players, but zone is now moving and Dalty goes down. SR3 gets picked off while trying to make it in. Dalty gets jumped on, and I decided to try to wait it out and go for another reboot play, but this cheater had other plans. Now, I've mentioned cheaters and stream snipers a couple times in this video, and obviously not every team we lose to is cheating or stream sniping us, but you'd be surprised at how many people are cheating in these top ranks. They're usually not just blatantly aimbotting and getting over 50 elims, because then they'd get banned right away. Most of the time, they can just see where other players are through builds and terrain, and they basically have advanced aim assist, even on keyboard and mouse, which gives them pro aim. So sometimes it's hard to tell if someone is cheating or not, but the more you play ranked, the easier it is to tell. And unfortunately, there's a whole lot of them out there. Now, while I was just talking about cheaters, you watched 2 hours of our elite gameplay where we lost in top 10 almost every single time. This is obviously terrible for progress, as we've gained maybe 12% in 2 hours, which once again shows that endgame is by far the most important part of rank. But now, after a 10-minute queue, dropping back into Wi-Fi, something crazy happened this game.
That's on you.
Got a lot of mats, 500. Oh my god.
Dalty with his prime clutch. Every once in a while, Dalty hits the zone in clutch situations, and he can't be stopped. 1v3ing that final team and securing a desperately needed dub, which should put us close. 98%. We are now just 2% away from the final champion rank. But as you can see, our lobbies are only getting harder, officially fighting the first ever Unreal team in Chapter 6 and actually beating them. This lobby was stacked, and now this next game we're gonna have basically the same exact players because everyone queued right back up. So against the same players, our goal was to have the same outcome, a win.
Right here on blue.
Yeah, I think I'm down right from here. Oh, well.
33, 99. Crack. Yeah.
You're
I'm
gonna
here.
kill him.
Dead. Dead. We're split right now.
Dead. This kid's god.
I'm full boxed.
This time, Dalty couldn't clutch it after getting max pumped on that play, but I'll take the blame for that one because we were the only duo up and I kinda sold. Literally one player away from back-to-back wins, but it doesn't matter because that's still good enough to rank us up and into champion, the final rank before Unreal, but also the hardest of all to get through. Champion is full of the sweatiest players on earth that all want to make it to Unreal, Unreal, but battling against each other and the slowest progress gain you've ever seen of 8% wins and 6% losses, and even top 3s for -%. This is where you either give up and become one of the millions that get forever stuck, or you grind through and cross into the promised land of Unreal. And that's what we're determined to do, although it's not going to be easy. A 5th place finish with 6 elims was actually going to lose us progress, but our ranked protection set in and saved it. That now means that anything lower than top 4 will not gain us anything and might even lose us progress. So if we still want to be one of the first teams in Unreal, then we have to figure this out and start winning, which this game was looking like a possibility.
46 white? Anyone? This is insane.
That team sat high and triple sprayed down like this was FNCS, and for even a 2nd place, we only gained 6%. That is brutal, because with still 66% to go, at this rate, we'll be playing for another 6 hours, and that's if we don't make any more mistakes.
He's pushing. Oh, that's
Bird got dropped on. It's a duo, it's a duo. 6 kills.
2nd place. Once again, we only have a duo up in endgame, and I get dropped on from the heavens above without realizing until it was too late. Dalty tries to pull off his signature clutch 1v2, but these guys were just too good, and 4%. I thought 6% was bad for 2nd place. Now we get just 4, and after yet another 7 hours of grinding rank today, it was time for some sleep. But the next morning, we were back at it again for now the 3rd day in a row. All we needed was 60% of champion and we'd hit Unreal. So feeling fresh and motivated, we got right to work.
1 HP on one of them?
Dead on one on me.
Is it right here?
Oh, he just got that wood.
Got the kill somehow. Dead.
And our first champion rank win is in the books on our first game of day 3. For that win, we go up 11%. Not crazy, but the key to getting through champion is slow and steady progress. So back into our 2nd game of the day we go, and the goal is exactly the same. Play smart and secure another win.
This is the craziest game I've ever fucking seen.
29 on other height. Topping that guy. Oh, the guy's in the bush.
I like this play, I like this. Not our walls there, careful.
Can't build on that one. Two votes.
This is pathetic.
I mean, whoever's height is just like automatic win.
Winnable.
We had another literal FNCS endgame there, full tarping as a trio in everything. But the trio on height with mythic weapons, we're just not going to lose that. It was basically impossible. So yet another 2nd place, and this time for just a 3% gain. I thought 6% was bad, then I thought 4% was bad, and now we're down to 3% for 2nd place. At this point, it's basically win or nothing, because that is literally the only way we're going to hit Unreal, and this game got off to a great start.
Bro, I have no... Wow, he's so bad, thank God.
Do not go in there. Do not go in there. There's 3 people in there. That's Jacozy in there. That's Jacozy in that box.
Now let me explain what's happening here. From the kill feed, we actually knew who this team was and knew that they're really good, being basically a pro trio. So we took height and expected them to push up, you know, because they're a pro trio. But instead, they stayed boxed up on low ground for over 2 minutes until they triple sprayed Dalty. Then after that, they all 3 jumped on me and 3v1'd me, and then finally they finished SR3 off as he tried to run. Now again, this was a pro trio with earnings from tournaments, and this is how they played in champion rank. If that doesn't show you just how hard these lobbies are, then I don't know what will, because that was insane, and it kind of sent us spiraling back down. We had a couple good team wipes earlier in this match, but then we got full W keyed after rebooting Dalty, and I got completely stuck in this awkward spot. Ultimately, we went down in 14th place for a -1%. That's not quite as bad as I was expecting, but with queues now reaching nearly 15 minutes just to get into a game, things were getting dicey.
I just talked about him cheating. And
Oh, he's cheating, bro. I couldn't hold.
my
I was
God.
trying to.
I mean, I selected my.
Right as it looked like we were in the clear, that happens for now a 7th place and we lose 2%. Just another example of how ranked makes no sense. 14th place, -1%. 7th place, way better than 14th place, -2%. But hey, no worries, because another 30 minutes of gameplay gives us a 6th place and we gain all of it right back. Wait, didn't we get 3% for a 2nd place too? I think it's literally Fortnite's job to troll you once you reach champion to try to make you quit. And even though I wanted to, we had to see it through. So back into another champion game we go.
Why should be on this kid?
Okay.
Going up. Apparently I'm not.
No, I 180'd him.
And another champion rank dub we get. Finally! It's been hours since that first win, and this is going to give us a nice chunk to work with. 13%. For champion rank, that's a huge gain. It inches us closer to that final rank. But that hurt more than any ranked loss I've ever had. We finally win a game and take 13% of progress just to lose half of it in seconds due to a bad drop. We went from feeling motivated to feeling defeated so fast, and we couldn't take Whiffy anymore. We were now back at hopeful, and we were hopeful it would help us get a win. Shout out to Hopeful, because the change of the drop spot came in clutch and helped us bounce back from that loss, hopefully giving us another 13%. Fortnite? Only 8% for a champion rank win when we just lost 6 for losing off spawn. Do you see now why so many players quit in champion? For most, it's just not worth it to endure this grueling grind, but we were determined. So back pretty much where we were after our last win, we had to now build on top of this and most importantly, not lose progress.
Oh, why did on him?
No,
Oh,
bro.
I think
I don't know what just happened.
Wait, what?
Oh.
What? So, I don't know what just happened. We thought we had taken out all of the good teams in the lobby, and it was looking like a guaranteed win. And then this team with Mythics just jumped out of the bushes and completely unexpectedly pushed us, and it worked. Catching us completely off guard, now placing us in 3rd and losing out on a ton of extra progress. That is an absolute vibe killer, but that game showed us that we can easily win these games if we play together and play smart. So going into this next one, that was the mindset.
50 white.
Other one got rose.
100?
Holy.
20?
2nd place. If all of the 2nd places we got in this video were wins, we would have already been in Unreal by now, but instead we're just slowly trucking away. At least this 2nd place we got back to 6%, which at this point I'm thankful for. And that officially takes us to the final stretch. The last 25% of champion is the hardest every single season. Something happens where progress gets even slower, players get even better, and the urge to quit is at an all-time high. Now, I've dealt with this so many times, so I told the team we had to lock in and not look back until we're in Unreal. So we got to work.
Yeah, Carter, let's.
Cracked? 60 on one?
Is that what they do? I could have clipped this kid.
In my box, I'm dead. I hit him body shot.
And the pep talk worked because that shot secured us the 20 elim final stretch victory. One of the hardest to get, and sent us up 10% to put me now just 15% away from my goal I've been grinding for 3 straight days. All we had to do is put together just a couple more good games. So we waited out another 7-minute queue and got back to work.
Probably back wall. He hasn't. Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Let's go.
Wait,
Watch your back. She got out again.
I was so close to getting away, but I couldn't make it, and we paid the price. A 10th place with 13 elims. We took out over 4 trios, and yet we still lose 2%. Once again, at this point in champion rank, it's literally win or nothing. So dropping into our next game, we landed at a completely safe drop where no one else would be. Loaded up, and the only thing that was on our mind was to win.
Box.
3 actually. Could've got his teammates up, dude. He's res right now.
Behind you, SO. Behind you. I cracked him. I gotta get in the zone.
Nice.
And those shots were so clutch, securing us yet another champion rank win, and this should put us close. 12%, a massive gain for being in the final stretch, and now just 5% away. All we had to do was have one more of those games, just one more. So we locked in, and we were looking to end this thing.
I don't know.
Grabbing cards.
Wait,
that's a whole nother team you're on?
Yeah, it's different.
Alright.
There's this way.
With only 3 other teams in solid loot heading into endgame, this had to be the one.
No, I think he's shooting. I honestly think he's shooting.
Bro, I'm dead.
Well, that fell apart so fast. We should have just played zone, based up, and guaranteed the win, but instead, we had our egos in the way. We got in a fight with everyone spraying us in center zone and go down. The worst part is that there wasn't only 3 teams left. Those 9 players were actually 4 different teams, placing us in 5th after all of that. It could have been such a free win, and instead, we gained 1% and have to do it all over again. That is the biggest mistake you can make in ranked. If you have the opportunity to win, you need to do everything possible to make sure you win, because otherwise you lose, you barely gain anything, and then your next game, you do this.
Break it up. You guys can go.
Oh, there's another team.
This game was so shambles. I said I didn't want to fight the boss because people would come third party, but we did it anyway, and of course, 2 teams W key us. Dolde somehow escapes and reboots, only to then go down, so now I had to escape and play for reboot cards. But again, when you spend the majority of the game running and just trying to stay alive, once endgame rolls around, you have nothing. So it's just me and SR3, not great loot, final zone endgame, 6 other players up. All we have to do is outlive those 6 players and we hit Unreal.
I have no build.
Can you get ahead?
No way, that's not a max.
3rd place. Please, Fortnite. I know we've gotten 3% for a 3rd place. Just do it. Huh? A 3rd place champion finish made us lose 2%. I have never seen anything like this, and I wasn't kidding when I said it's Fortnite's job to make you quit rank, because this is insane. We've now played 2 endgames just to finish top 5 and top 3, and it's only lost us progress. It looks like the literal only way we're going to cross into Unreal is if we get a win, and this game, it was all on me.
I have a lot of boats.
Damn kids.
No, it's not.
Our 3rd 3rd endgame in a row, another 5th place because we're shambles rebooting all game. And now this wants to be the game to give me the 3%. It's actually trolling. It knows we needed that last game. I actually can't believe what I'm seeing. And let me just spare you all the pain of the same thing happening for the 4th game in a row. Shambles rebooting all game. We still make endgame, but SR3 solo pushes and goes down for whatever reason he thought that was smart. And then this guy makes a shockwave play on Dalty, and while that was happening, the other solo got his team completely rebooted, and I got targeted by all 4 players, losing in 3rd. Plus 0%. And you won't even believe it, but this had me wanting to delete Fortnite forever. We've needed 5% to hit Unreal for over 2 hours now. It literally takes 1 game to get it. So now there's 22 players up. We have our full team, somewhat decent loot, and the plan was to play this like literal FNCS and just win the game to hit Unreal and be done with it. So we rotate over and box up on the mountain, and literally seconds later, I turn around and SR3 is across the map solo fighting a trio. And what do you think happens? I don't know what was going through his mind at this point, but he has been selling these last few games, and now that puts it all on me and Dalty to secure the win. I get focused by the rest of the lobby. Dalty somehow escapes, shambles loot, 3rd place, 0%. I don't even know what to say at this point. But finally, over 24 hours of playing ranked later, we drop into this match.
Crack right here. This guy's get out of there.
Dead? I killed 2. One's right here. One's popping a medkit right here.
Okay, I have 3 builds.
On your guys' lair. Nice. Get those mats. Oh, they fell.
Oh no,
Up. Yep. Nice.
Right.
Oh, my back.
Nice.
I can't see him, bro. I can't see him.
We're gonna get it anyway.
And we finally did it. Unreal rank in Chapter 6. Officially becoming the 85th player in the world to make it there. Thanks for watching.